is presented by
Bell Tire.
Consistency has been the best word to describe the Tigers starter of late. The rotation has been solid, beginning with Max Scherzer to Justin Verlander to Jeremy Bonderman. Tonight, Armando Galarraga looks to continue the trend against the Tribe from Cleveland. It's a beautiful night for baseball here in the Motor City. Warm, humid, and we get you ready for Game 2 of this series featuring the Cleveland Indians and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Ron Allen. Glad to have you with us for the middle game in the series. The Tigers losing a tough one last night, 3-2, Ron. And now the ball club has lost 8 of 10, trying to get out of this little bit of a mini funk they're in.
Well, for whatever reason, the offense has kind of gone stone cold. The Oakland Athletics, they got a pretty good pitching team, and they kind of shut the Tigers down. But when Cleveland comes to town, for whatever reason, the Tigers need to figure out a way to win a game here today.
All right, maybe Armando Galarraga can do it tonight. Galarraga gets the start, but the Armando we have seen this year has been both hot and cold.
You know, I think the Tigers made a very wise decision when they sent Armando Galarraga down to the minor leagues. And the reason why they did so is they had Robertson, Willis, and Bonderman fighting for those last 2 position spots as far as pitchers were concerned. So they felt like they needed Armando go down to the minor leagues, get himself together, pitch well, which he did, and now he finds himself back in the major leagues. What he must do is own the 5th position. They traded Dontrelle Willis to Arizona. They've given the job to Armando. He had one outstanding start against the Boston Red Sox. He stubbed his toe against the Los Angeles Dodgers. They skipped him in the rotation one time to allow him to get some work in the bullpen, and let's hope that all works out for Armando Galarraga here tonight against the Cleveland Indians.
And hopefully the Tigers can get a win here, Game 2 in the series. That's the story from right here at Comerica Park. Right now we send it back to the Mickey York in the Call Sam Studios for more on our coverage tonight, Mick. Cabrera and the Detroit Tigers hosting the Cleveland Indians here at Comerica Park. And if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, make sure you bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper or at the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. CLEATDET.com. Well, Maniacta, his team has been struggling this year, but last night they won in impressive fashion, shutting down the Tigers. Jake Westbrook was good in the ball game last night. He'll be looking for the second win in a row for his team in this series. Their starting lineup is brought to you by Honda Bloomfield, and it features Trevor Crow in center field. Shin-Soo Choo is out in right, followed by Austin Kearns in left. Their cleanup man is Travis Hafner, the DH. Johnny Peralta is at third. Russell Branyan at first base. And your bottom three features Grudzielanek, Redmond, and Jason Donald. Scouting reports on Armando Galarraga, presented by Scott's Lawn Pro.
Well, what he must do is earn the number 5 spot in the rotation. They traded Dontrelle Willis away to the Arizona Diamondbacks to give the job to Armando, but now he must continue to keep that spot, and he will if he utilizes both sides of the dish with a good two-seam fastball south of the knees, and he also needs that consistent slider, which he was able to work on in between his last start on May 22nd, against the Dodgers, and this start today. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment by Jim Leland's club here tonight. It's always presented by Beaumont Hospital. Damon Jackson Ordonez in the outfield. Santiago, Guillen, Cabrera. They round out the infield. Avila with an outstanding at-bat last night in the 9th inning against Kerry Woods, singling sharply and driving in 1 run, able to start behind the plate today.
Alex earning the start in game 2 in the series, and hopefully his bat will begin to perk up. He's had some really good at-bats in recent games, so he'll get the call behind the plate here tonight. Well, it's a nice night for baseball. 73 degrees our game time temperature. We had some rain in the area earlier today, but right now it's fairly clear, so we hope it stays that way tonight. It should. Trevor Crow is leading it off for the Cleveland Indians. It'll be Crow, Choo, and Kearns here in the first inning facing Armando Galarraga. Tigers now 1 game over 500 at 26-25. Cleveland at 19-31. Galarraga ready to go to work, and here's the first pitch of the ball game. A little bit low and away. 1 ball and no strikes on Trevor Crow. Crow batting .254 with 1 home run. He's knocked in 9. Was 1 for 5 in the opener last night. And Galarraga just missed inside. Run the count to 2-0. Crow started the year at Columbus. Their AAA team was batting .244 with 13 RBIs in 29 games. And there's a strike in the outer edge. 2-1.
And Crow getting a nice audition at the early start of this season with Grady Sizemore, their all-star center fielder, on the disabled list at least for the next couple of months with knee surgery.
The 2-1. Whistled foul down the third base line.
And as a young player, when your team is struggling the way that the Cleveland Indians have struggled this year, if you could make a positive impression on your manager, you might get some more playing time even when Sizemore comes back.
Indians have been contemplating some changes as Crow skies this one in the air to center field. Austin Jackson cruising back, and that's how we start this one tonight. 1 gone.
You may remember just a couple of weeks ago the Tigers sent Scherzer down to the minor leagues because the Tigers are going to have a couple of off days on the West Coast, so they wanted him to stay on his regular day's rest. And of course, we know how that story ended. And Scherzer went down to the minors, punched out 14, and did very well in his first start. They did the same thing with Galarraga when they shipped him out in spring training to get work just in case they needed that 5 spot, which they needed here now with Dontrelle being gone.
Here is Shin-Soo Choo.
Galarraga did not understand why he went down so early in spring training because he felt like he was in competition for that final 2 spots in the rotation, but the Tigers had a method to their madness.
Well, the hope is that Galarraga can return to the form that he showed 2 years ago when he won 13 games as a rookie.
He's saying all the right things. He appears to have his confidence back, which he did not have last year.
Bouncing ball first base side, fair ball fielded there by Cabrera. Galarraga will cover. 2 outs. And that's going to leave it up to Austin Kearns. Galarraga's last appearance was in relief on Monday. That was against Oakland. Threw an inning and 2/3 in that game. In his 2 starts this year at the big league level, a victory and a defeat.
You know, when you beat a team like Boston, that has to bode well for your confidence, which Galarraga did his first start when coming back up from the minors. But he wasn't throwing efficient strikes against the Dodgers and ended up giving up a few runs.
Line drive right at the first baseman Cabrera, and just like that, the inning is over. A 9-pitch inning for Galarraga. 1-2-3, go the Indians. Defensively have a 1-2-3 inning behind Galarraga. And here is the Tigers starting lineup presented by Big Boy. It's Austin Jackson leading it off in center field. Johnny Damon playing left again tonight, followed by Maglio Ordonez in right. Cabrera's at first base, red hot in his last 9. Bosch will DH, followed by Guillen, Inge, Avila, and Santiago. Tigers trying to get the bats going. Last couple of nights they have been silent, and Jackson will lead it off here against Fausto Carmona. First pitch is off the inside part of the plate, 1-0.
They're going to have their work cut out for them tonight. Carmona is pitching like he pitched back in 2007 when he won 19 ball games for the Cleveland Indians with that power sinker.
He's a load at 6'4", 230 on a Santo Domingo, 26 years old, Carmona.
We watched Westbrook yesterday with a real good two-seam moving fastball at the bottom of the strike zone, but Carmona's got that power sinker. There it was, 92. As a hitter, when you make contact with that pitch, with that kind of heavy sink, it feels like you're hitting a shot put.
Jackson hitless in the ball game last night, was 0 for 4. Chops that one foul.
Mike Redmond is the personal catcher of Carmona. It's something that Manny Acta started way back in spring training, and apparently it has worked. First year in a Cleveland Indians uniform for Redmond after spending many years over there handling that Minnesota Twins talented pitching staff.
3-2 on Jackson. Just underway here at the ballpark. Redmond giving some encouragement now to Carmona.
Redmond once played for Jim Leadon back in '97 in Florida.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball back up the middle. A long run for Donald. Can't get it in center field. Austin Jackson leads it off with a single. The Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Fausto Carmona. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
Biggest difference for Fausto is the fact that he's got his confidence back. He's got his swagger back. He's pitching well. He knows it, and he's confident with that. He also made a slight adjustment on the pitching rubber. He has moved to the first base side of the rubber, which allows him to handle that sinker ball a little bit more efficiently and keep it in the strike zone. And who doesn't Cabrera crush? That's our Bernstein advantage.
Johnny Damon batting .278. He's knocked in 18 this year.
This is a great combination to run on. Carmona has not been very good at preventing guys from stealing, nor has Redmond. As good as he is as a game caller, he hasn't thrown very well this year. And as I told you, this combination has been together since the beginning of the season. Their numbers aren't good.
Little chopper back to the mound. This should be a double play, and it is. 1-6-3 on the twin killing. So the bases are empty now. 2 gone.
Let's take a look at the Cleveland Indians defensively tonight. You've got Chu in right. He has 6 assists. He has a total of 17 dating back to last year, which is the most in the American League. We told you that Redmond and Fausto Carmona, the battery, Donald and Grzelcyk up the middle for the Cleveland Indians.
Maglio trying to get it started down with 2 outs. Ordonez has hit a bit of a rough patch here on the homestand. The average at 308, but only 3 hits on this homestand. And I guess a lot of that could be said for many guys, especially against that athletic staff, which really pitched well in the previous 4-game series here.
They sure did.
Here's the 1-0. And you get the feeling, Rod, that with that staff, that Oakland, even though they don't have a whole lot of power in their lineup, should be able to stay in that race in the West.
They're young, and I think they're going to be just fine. And Billy Beane, I would not be shocked if he went out and maybe found a hitter, especially if that race stays as close as it is out west.
Yeah, they may be hanging on to bench sheets instead of flipping him over.
No question.
1 ball, 1 strike. Got Ordonez. Maglio lines one on 1 hop to the second baseman, Grzelcyk. And just like that, the Tigers are done. No runs. They get a hit. Nobody left. 1 inning in the books. Still no score. $18.49. And by Comcast, call 1-800-COMCAST for TV, phone, and internet. Scattered clouds in the area. Warm temperatures. Tigers baseball tonight. No score as we go to the second. It'll be Travis Hafner, Johnny Peralta, and Russell Branyan facing Armando Galarraga. Galarraga got a 1-2-3 in the first inning, facing Hafner here, the designated hitter for the Indians.
So far, Galarraga, even though it's already been just 1 inning, he is keeping the ball rather low against these Cleveland Indians hitters, which is exactly what Galarraga needs to do. And Galarraga has the good moving fastball, anywhere from 89 to 94 miles an hour. He's got an outstanding slider, which allows him to dominate right-handers, which he has done throughout his very young big league career, and an occasional changeup.
Here's the 0-2. And it's a chopper back up the middle to shortstop Santiago. Hafner is out. 4 up, 4 down against Armando. Hey, by the way, this game is available tonight in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. Last night we were talking about how the outfielders had to worry about the sunlight out in left field. It's kind of cloudy and overcast here tonight, so no such trouble. Here is Peralta with 1 out. Strike 1 on Johnny Peralta, who is 4 for his last 8.
It's a well-located first pitch fastball to Peralta. He is a dead pull hitter, But if you locate the fastball where he located that last one, tough for him to do anything with that pitch.
0-2. Peralta at 247. He's hit 4 home runs, had a couple of hits in the ball game last night. Little looper towards second base, and Guillen goes to the grass to haul it in. 2 outs.
Carlos has made every single play at second base since coming back up from the minors. And really, he's had to field just about every ground ball and make a throw every which way.
I have a quandary here. Is that a pop-up or a line-out?
I will qualify that as probably a line-out.
Okay, I'm going to go L4 then in my score sheet. Kind of in between.
Humpback liner.
There you go.
Call it.
Here's Russell Brandon. Russell looks at a strike 0-1. Galarraga, in his 13-win season a couple of years ago, beat the Indians 3 times. Last year, he lost to the Indians 3 times. And had an ERA of nearly 10 against the Tribe last year. Fouled away.
As a matter of fact, when he came up that rookie year, he made his first start against the Cleveland Indians. I see you.
Nice play.
High fives for the little fella. He's good to go. Some more high fives.
Just missed 1 and 2. Well, the next step would be to get that ball autographed. Right now, he's just so excited to have it. Ground ball to second base. Carlos has it, and another 1-2-3 inning for Galarraga. 6 up, 6 down against the Tigers right-hander. Cabrera, Bosch, Guillen coming up. The second in a scoreless ball game tonight. Galarraga and Carmona hooking up in game 2 in the series, and Cabrera leads it off here in the Tigers' second. It'll be Cabrera, Bosch, and Carlos Guillen. Carmona gave up a single but got a double play ball in the first.
And since coming to the Tigers, there's no player in the American League that has better power numbers against Cleveland Indian pitching than Cabrera.
Deep into left field, way back, and another home run for Miguel Cabrera.
Almost didn't get it out. He is on some kind of mission since taking a few days off with the birth of his new baby daughter, Isabella. Wow, is he special.
How about this homestand now? 11 for 22 on the homestand for Cabrera.
We told you that he has really good numbers against Carmona, and for whatever reason, And Carmona tried to sneak that little two-seam fastball inside to Cabrera, and he cleared his hips out of the way and hit an absolute missile into the seats and left.
Miguel Cabrera with a home run, safe at home plate, safe and secure, New York life.
What an unbelievable talent.
He makes it look so easy.
Oh, he is gifted. I mean, he is gifted. I mean, there's some things that you can teach. But some of what Big Fella has is unteachable. It's God-given.
Bosch rolls one to second base for Grzelanica's position. One gone.
Carmona struggled so much last year that they finally sent him down to the minor leagues to get some work in. And they didn't send him to AAA. They sent him all the way to instructional league, to rookie ball, to get some work last year. And then he kind of worked his way back to their staff at the end of July. And he stayed there. Didn't have a great year, but he pitched well in spring training. And he's off to a very good start this year as well. This cat won 19 games 2 years ago. 19, and he was lethal. Him and CC both, I believe, won 19 that year.
Carlos Guillen batting .275.
And as you can imagine, they went to the postseason that year. They probably should have got to the World Series. Weren't they up 3-1 against the New York Boston? Was it Boston or New York?
It was Boston that year.
Up 3-1.
And they were up huge.
Yeah, they lost. Look at those numbers.
13-19. There's another ground ball. He's getting a lot of those early on. We expected that. And Branyan makes the play, 2 gone. We were talking about when he was sent down. The last start he made before he was sent down was against the Minnesota Twins. Mike Redmond was playing for the Twins at that time, and he had an 0 for 4 against Carmona, and he was saying to himself, as everybody else on the Twins was just hitting Carmona really hard, how could this guy with this type of stuff not have success? And then the very next day they sent him down to rookie ball.
Yeah.
And I guess confidence had a whole lot to do with it. Inge takes a ball inside, 1-0.
You don't want to give too much credit to Redmond because obviously Carmona is very talented, but it has to have helped to have the kind of leadership qualities that he does have now, with Redmond being behind the plate to kind of help him along. Of course, Marson, who caught last night, is still very young, but you have to figure out ways to get your backup catcher into action, and this is the way that they figured out to get Redmond some action, by catching Carmona.
And certainly it's a spot that Redmond is familiar with, backing up Joe Mauer in Minnesota. He was in Florida for a while, and he's just a guy that has been around so long that gives so much to your club because he knows his role. Fastball in, missed inside, too far, 2-1.
That's why he stands now on the first base side of the rubber, because of that two-seam fastball that he really has a tough time of commanding. I mean, a lot of times that ball still runs in on the hands of the right-handers.
And a leaping catch at third by Johnny Peralta to end the inning. But the Tigers take the lead thanks to the big fella. Cabrera with a line drive home run. And it's 1-0 Detroit. Brought to you by the Romani Eye Institute, the most trusted name in eye care. AT&T. Find out what's possible on the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by GMC, we are professional grade. Earlier today at Comerica Park, we had a ton of the Red Wings on hand here. Jimmy Howard, the goaltender of the Red Wings, well, he decided to put on the catching gear and catch Justin Verlander, of all people.
Did he?
And it didn't go well. Some of it did. He got the hang of it after a while.
JV not letting up on him either.
No. JV told him, I guess, I'll go 75%. But even that is awfully tough. It was fun to watch earlier today. Jimmy Howard, a good sport. A couple of the other Wings were here as well.
Two real good right arms right there.
And as we heard last night, Nick is coming back. Lifted in the air to center field. Jackson coming on. And Galarraga records another out. Grzelcyk on the fly to center field. That's 7 up, 7 down.
The Tigers had the luxury of skipping Galarraga after his May 22nd start in Los Angeles because he wasn't good that day. He gave up 6 runs, 5 of which were earned, and he just didn't have a good slider, so they skipped him, which number 5 starters get skipped during the course of the regular season when there is a day off. That way you can get back to your number 1 guy, your number 2, whoever you choose to use. But apparently the time off and the extra work in the bullpen has worked well for Galarraga so far. All the fastballs have been very firm at 93 miles an hour with some good movement, and the slider has been a good pitch.
Mike Redmond batting .234. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Galarraga had a 1-2-3 first, a 1-2-3 second. He's got some ground balls in this game already. Armando in search of his 2nd win of the year. And another ground ball. Deep in the hole, it's short. On the backhand, Santiago has time because of the runner. And there are 2 gone. Time for a game break now. We go back to the studio, and here's Mickey York.
Batting 9, the shortstop number 16, Jason Donald.
All right, Mick, thanks. So the Dodgers on the heels of San Diego, who surprisingly here in the month of June is leading the West in the National League.
Edwin Jackson started that game today for Los Angeles and pitched 9 shutout innings against his former club, the Dodgers.
And that is looped toward right field. It is going to drop foul. Well, we all saw Jackson at his best here in Detroit, and when he is on, he can be awfully good.
Good power pitcher. Tenacious on the mound.
0-2 on Jason Donald, who bats with 2 outs here in the 3rd. Donald 2 out of 4 last night, including a 3-bagger, but did not score. Here's the 0-2. I read a great story on Jason Donald. He hit his first home run against Jake Peavy on May 25th against the White Sox. He went to retrieve the ball, his teammates did, and they said, we'll give you an autograph in return for it. And the guy that caught it said, sure, I'll take a Shin-Soo Choo autograph. There's a bouncing ball to short.
That's cold.
Didn't even want Donald's autograph.
That's cold.
1-2-3 again for Galarraga. 9 up, 9 down. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, and Velo Santiago Jackson coming up. Be with us tonight. Mario and Bemba, Rod Allen, Carolyn Rosinski is our producer tonight. Mark Isofano is our director as we go to the home half of the third, and Avila hits a line drive right at the center fielder, Trevor Crow.
He's been centering the baseball a lot better the last couple of days. We talked about that classic at bat that Avila had last night against Kerry Wood, but he also singled successfully a couple of days ago. So it looks like Avila's starting to get it together.
Here's Santiago. The home run by Cabrera, the difference right now. Santiago has one home run. He was 0 for 4 in the ball game last night, and he shows bunt. Hudson up with the right hand, Marvin Hudson.
And that is something that the Tigers have not done a whole lot of this year, and that's bunt for base hits. But that most definitely is part of Santiago's game.
Flared toward left field, and backing up is Kearns. I'd like to see it, I guess, become more of Austin Jackson's game.
It's a good point. No doubt about that. Especially when you're going up against a real tough right-hander.
Jackson had a single in the first.
Looks like runs might be at a premium here today. Both guys look like they're on top of their game. It's also a situation where if the Tigers get another base runner on in a certain situation where there could be a double play, we might see some movement with Jim Leland.
That's a fair ball inside the bag at first base. Jackson taking the wide turn. He's going to hold up as Chu got to it quickly and throws back behind the runner.
Chu has 6 assists this year, and anytime you're running the base paths and the ball goes to right field, you have to think before you run, because he most definitely will throw you out. A little tardy swing there by Jackson, but if you keep the plane of the bat level and in the strike zone long enough, you can flare something down that right field line. Well, Jackson pretty much has to steal this time with 2 outs. He's got to get himself in a scoring position. And we already told you this is a good combination to run on.
Pitch out. Thinking along the same lines. Nothing doing, though.
Carmona almost gave that pitch out away. When you pitch out, the last thing you want to do is tip off the base runner that you're going to throw a pitch out.
One and one on Damon. Johnny hit into a double play back in the first. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it though. 1 and 2.
Here's what I'm talking about on the first delivery from Carmona. Pitch out is already called, but you don't want to slide step when you pitch out. See, he slide steps. Right there is the alert for Jackson to shut it down. When the pitch out's called, what your manager wants you to do is look exactly like you're going to throw, like you just did there.
Here's a throw, not in time to steal for Jackson, his 8th.
Not even close. But he stole that base against Carmona with the high leg kick. Redmond had no chance whatsoever to throw out Austin Jackson. Great jump by Jackson. About 12 steps before he's into his slide. And he stole that base rather easily.
No problem. Redmond really had no chance. Now, can Damon drive him in here with 2 outs? 8 out of 9 steal attempts for Jackson.
Johnny Damon had a slow month of May after getting off to a really nice start in April. And he feels like he'll have a better June. That's one thing about veteran players, especially guys that have won championships. They know how to put the bad games behind them and always look forward, always look ahead.
Ground ball to second base. Should get him out of the inning, and it does. Base hit, stolen base. Runner remains at second. It'll be Crow, Chu, Kearns coming up. here tonight. And here it is. Which two Indians teammates combined for more doubles in a season than any other duo in Major League history?
Uh-oh, they're giving us a hint.
They're just trying to throw us off the track.
They showed us Chu, who's their best offensive player. And Peralta's got good numbers, too, in the past.
We'll see.
They're deking us?
I think so. Because that's what they do in the truck. They deke us every single time. It'll be the top of the order coming up. Trevor Crow and then Shin-Soo Choo and Austin Kearns. That is line toward left field, looping back toward the seats and out of play.
Galarraga is 8 of 10 in first pitch strikes, which is a really good recipe for most starting pitchers. When you're that efficient with your first pitch strikes, the batting average for the hitter goes down about 100 points versus the hitter sitting in a 1-0 count or 2-0, 2-1 count, which is obviously a good fastball count.
Now it's 0-2.
Galarraga is good today.
9 in a row retired to start this game. Crow flied out back in the first inning, 0 for 1. The 0-2. Hit like a bullet right at the first baseman. Cabrera backhands it. Another ground ball out. One away in the fourth.
Talked about that first base position and how you want to field most of the balls with one hand. You go over, you backhand that ball, and it really doesn't matter which way you're going. First base is one of those positions where you really don't need that throwing hand until you have to throw. It helps you bend your legs better. It helps you reach further. Everything about that position should be done with one hand. All those slow motion replays, of course, are courtesy of Lincoln Mercury, which is a really nice vehicle.
Shin-Soo Choo. 279 hitter coming in. Chu has a bounce out 0 for 1. He snapped an 0 for 19 in last night's ball game with a home run.
It was the longest hitless drought of his career for Chu. Looked like he got himself a slider at the bottom of the strike zone and just went down and got it and flipped it out of here.
Number 8 on the season for Mr. Chu. Drilled to center field. Jackson is on the run for this one. 2 outs. Galarraga's getting some quick outs. He's working at a nifty pace here tonight. Cabrera has backed him up with a home run. Crisp game so far. Here comes Austin Kearns. Kearns 0 for 1 and a line out. He's 0 for his last 12. There was some thought going into this season, and Kearns was not guaranteed a roster spot coming into spring camp, and I think the Indians thought Laporta and Brantley would see a lot of the time in left field, but Kearns, who was limited to just 80 games last year because of thumb surgery over in the National League, really has kind of grabbed that position and not let go.
He's a veteran player. He was a non-roster invitee in the spring training for Manny Acton. You talked about their relationship last night in Washington when Manny was there. Austin played for him, so Manny was familiar with what Austin could do.
Skied in foul ground, first base side. Cabrera can't quite get there.
But for the life of me, I'm kind of surprised that Brantley, especially with how this team has struggled this year, I'm surprised Brantley is not on their major league club. He hit 300 last year in the limited playing time that he got. He stole 40-something bases in the minor leagues. I thought for sure Brantley would be their left fielder at the beginning of the season this year.
Well, there's some grumblings in the Cleveland media that after the All-Star break, there will be some changes, and Brantley probably will be back up with the big club. And there's strike 3, and Galarraga continues to cruise along. That's his first strikeout, but he hasn't needed many tonight. Another 1-2-3 inning, 4 in a row to start the game for Armando. Tigers batting now in the bottom of the fourth inning. They lead 1-0. And Fausto Carmona heading back to the hill. And Carmona facing Ordonez, Cabrera, and Bosch in the Tigers' fourth. Maglio is 0 for 1 with a ground ball. And Carmona misses outside. One ball and one strike on Ordonez. 0 for 5 in the series. And he shatters his bat, rolls one toward third. Peralta with an easy play, one gone. There's that AT&T trivia question again. And the question was, which two Indians teammates combined for more doubles in a season than any other duo in the history of the major leagues? Two former Indians. Who are they? George Burns and Tris Speaker back in 1926. I didn't get that one. No. Strike called on Cabrera. Miguel homered back in the second. The game's only run.
First time up, Carmona tried to sneak a fastball by Cabrera. But that's like trying to sneak the sun by a rooster. Just doesn't happen. Nice pitch. 88 miles an hour. What a slide piece.
Cabrera now 15 home runs. Second in the majors. He's behind Batista of Toronto, who has 16. Slowly tapped up the middle. Jason Donald throws him out. Two up, two down, and a couple of ground balls here in the fourth. Here are the combined doubles. The biggest duos, of course, the Tigers had Gehringer and Walker, and in 34, Greenberg and Gehringer. A-Rod, Edgar Martinez back in the 96 M's. Here's your list. Brendan Bosch, 0 for 1 with a ground ball. I say that a lot tonight. Ground ball. Both pitchers have gotten quite a few. The 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike on Bosch. The Rookie of the Year in the month of May, which gives the Tigers now back-to-back rookies. I should say Rookie of the Month, not Rookie of the Year. Back-to-back Rookies of the Month. One in April, Austin Jackson. One in May, Brendan Bosch.
That doesn't happen very often, as you said.
Pretty impressive. 345 average in May. 10 multiple hit games, 15 RBIs. The 1-2 is swung out and missed, and Carmona continues to cruise along as well. That's his first strikeout, a 1-2-3 frame. Let's go to the fifth.
Party suites are on sale now. Groups of 15 or more And get discount tickets to select games while supplies last. Order your group tickets at 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com. We see you too.
Hey, that was in unison. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Wasn't even planned.
No.
Well, let's see. Galarraga has been cruising along. He's retired 12 in a row to start this game, and first pitch strikes on the last 10 consecutive batters. And leading it off, it'll be Travis Hafner.
Travis will probably be swinging there.
Ball one. And so much for the streak. It'll be Hafner, Peralta, then Russell Brandon.
A little mini shift these days on Hafner. And Santiago not playing him as far in the hole as they normally would when he's going really good. And he's going pretty good right now, but an abbreviated shift these days for Travis, better known as Pronk, when he's getting it done.
Hinge runs out of room.
Travis is a good kid. I enjoy talking to him down around the batting cage. Sprays it all around.
He's 10th in Cleveland history in home runs with 166. Most of those as a designated hitter. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Hafner.
Galarraga's pounding that strike zone today. This was disguised as a strike and ended up at the bottom of the strike zone. Great location.
Just missed low with the fastball. 3-2.
Galarraga thought he had strike three. He paused and gave a nice long look to Marvin Hudson.
Lifted toward left field. Damon will get to foul ground to make the play. 13 straight retired by Armando to start the game. And Galarraga 46 pitches. Carmona just 43. Carmona, take away that home run, is gone pitch for pitch. Right back to Galarraga. Another easy out. He's making it look simple tonight. 14 straight retired. 2 gone for Russell Brandon. Peralta now 0 for 2. Brandon is 0 for 1 with a ground out.
Russell Brandon only has 24 hits this year, 7 of which have left the building. He's got real power. He got his first opportunity to play every single day in Seattle last year and had a breakout season. He's always had great power.
Brandon homered in the ball game last night. He showed off that power. Was signed as a free agent in February. Started this year on the disabled list with bad back. And he hits this one right off the mound. It'll roll toward Brandon Inge, who gloves it and throws him out.
I see you, Brandon.
It's been that kind of night for Armando Galarraga. With a sly grin on his face, and the Tigers get another 1-2-3 inning. 15 straight retired. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Still 1-0 in favor of Detroit as we cruise along to the bottom of the 5th inning in this one. Tigers 1 run, 3 hits, and Cleveland no runs, no hits. It'll be Gann to lead it off, and he rifles one right at Mark Grudzolani. One away. Bring up Brandon Inge. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 5th. Carmona gave up the home run to Cabrera to lead off the 2nd, and that has been the only blemish on his mark.
Brandon, his first time up, hit a bullet right at Peralta. Peralta was able to elevate and prevent the ball from going down in the left field corner, but Brandon had a really good at-bat against Carmona. Brandon's batting average up to 235. He was hovering right around 200 about 2 weeks ago.
And he got on base 4 times on Sunday, and that kind of spurred him a little bit. He had a walk, he had a couple of doubles, hit a home run in that game against the Athletics.
And most of these guys are still at the plate appearance count, where if you have a good week, your batting average can still go up about 60, 75 points. And I guess the flip side of that is, if you have a bad week, it can go down to about that same amount.
Yeah, what goes up can also come down.
And Lloyd McClendon, just as most hitting coaches in the major leagues, it is a hard job.
2-2 on Brandon Inge. 6 for his last 11 to raise that average.
Carmona looks like a whole different cat than we've watched the last 2 years. He looks like he's pitching with the same confidence that he pitched with back in 2007.
Well, it's funny because even in the last 2 years when Carmona was struggling, his ERA against the Tigers was 3.74.
He was still wearing them out, huh?
Yeah, he was. And the rest of the league was over 6. Swing and a miss.
Tigers have always had a lot of right-handed hitters on their team, and Carmona has posted some pretty good numbers against right-handers. And you can see the 2-seam fastball, and it's just got unbelievable movement to it.
He's going to bring up Alex Avila. Only 3 Tigers hits in this one. Jackson with 2 singles and a steal, by the way, and the home run by Cabrera. Avila hit a ball hard straight at the center fielder. 4 and out, back in the 3rd. Had the pinch hit single after a lengthy battle last night in the 9th inning against Kerry Wood. Tigers got to within 1 run. That's as close as they got. 1-1 on Alex. Carmona working quickly, the 1-1 pitch. Toward left field, sinking, base hit. So Avila continues to get that bat going. 2-out single. We'll give Santiago a chance. Tigers have their 4th hit of this ball game. Santiago was a flyout victim back in the 3rd. Last season, one of the problems Carmona had was getting left-handed batters out. They hit and hit and hit against him. And Santiago takes. They hit 331 against him last year.
And he's doing a little bit better this year against left-handers. But he dominates right-handers. Right-handers hitting only 208 this year against Carmona.
To center field. Trevor Crowe almost over his head. Inning over. Tigers get a 2-out single. We head to the 6th inning, where it's still 1-0 Detroit.
mentality, I believe, is more strong. And, you know, it's not like I have a bad outing and I'm going to go down and, you know, start thinking about it. It's like, don't think too much, go over there in the mound and do my job. And I feel good about myself like that.
Well, it's amazing what a difference a season can make in terms of his mental outlook. And Galarraga has looked, well, awesome tonight.
Boy, has he. Confidence is a big part of it. And you could tell he didn't have a whole lot of that last year. There were a few games where Galarraga kind of pitched like he pitched in his rookie season of '08. But for the most part, he just was lacking confidence last year.
He's ahead of Grzelcyk, who has been a really good hitter in his career, 0-2.
Not lacking any confidence here today.
15 straight retired by Galarraga to start this game as we play in the 6th inning. Tigers lead 1-0. Grzelcyk just stays alive as he fouls it off.
And Galarraga, Grzelcyk, one of those guys where you might want to climb the ladder here and go right around the letters to see if you can get him to swing and miss.
8 on the ground, 6 in the air, 1 via the strikeout. That's how he's carved up the Indians so far tonight. Grzelcyk had a couple of hits and an RBI last night, a career .290 hitter. He's been around so long that Jim Leland remembered when he came up with the Montreal Expos when Leland managed the Pirates over in the National League. He's 39 years old. Checked it, and he went around. Strike 3. The second strikeout for Galarraga. Been amazing tonight.
Grzelcyk, one of those guys that usually does not check his swing because he's not usually over swinging with 2 strikes, and by him doing so gives you an idea of the filthiness that Galarraga has here tonight.
Here's Mike Redmond in their first strike, 0-1. First pitch strike after first pitch strike. In the air to center field, Austin Jackson will have plenty of room. And there are 2 gone. Time for a game break now as we go back to the studio. Here's Mickey York.
The shortstop, Jason Donald.
Really? Wow, that I guess is not surprising. That's drilled to right field. Maglio going back, and there's another quick out. It's an 8-pitch inning for Galarraga. He's retired 18 straight to start this game.
Not have to go back very far, just the last half of last inning. Russell Brandon hits one off the heel of Galarraga, and Brandon ends. Johnny on the spot. He scoops it. He shuffles it on to Cabrera for the final out of the inning. Coors Light Freeze Cam is brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
So here's the top of the lineup now for the Tigers. Austin Jackson leads it off.
So you say you weren't surprised that Griffey announced his retirement in the middle of the season?
I don't know if I was surprised. I thought that something had to happen. I didn't know if he would be released or if he would decide to retire, but I felt because of the year he was having, and that's a good play there by Peralta, and Jackson is not, that something would happen, whether it was retirement or release or something. I just felt that.
Well, Jack Zarincic, their general manager, he told Ken Griffey Jr. earlier this year when that bad press came out of their clubhouse about he was sleeping and Don Wakamatsu wanted him to pitch and hit, whatever the case may be. But Jack Zarincic told Griffey, this is on you. I am not going to release you. You do what you do. I'm not going to be part of it. And we were out there 2 weeks ago, and he didn't get off the bench.
No, he didn't.
He did not get off the bench.
No, and I still maintain, everybody has their opinion on who the best player they've seen play, and I know there are a lot of great ones, but I still maintain Griffey, for me, was the best overall talent that I've seen play when healthy.
There is not a lot of people that would even argue with you on that. He was special. When he came to the big leagues at age 19 in Seattle, he was the poster child of all of baseball. I mean all of baseball. Kids across the country started wearing their hats backwards and wearing Ken Griffey Jr.'s number.
Nice running catch and a basket play by Trevor Crowe.
Line drives are staying up rather lengthy in the outfield today.
2 gone, and by the way, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's player of the game. You better hurry up, though. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space and then the player's uniform number to 37338. That's FSDET. See the final results post-game during Tigers Live. I can only assume who's leading at this point. Maglio cuts and misses 0-1.
I had a picture with Ken Griffey Jr. and Sheffield and myself and my daughter that we took a couple of years ago. And I am glad I got Ken Griffey Jr. to sign that picture when we were in Seattle, or my daughter wouldn't have forgiven me.
Diving play by Donald, and he got him.
It's a well-played game.
He held out of the bag with his big toe. Brandon, nice play. Side retired. 1, 2, 3, they go. Let's go to the 7th. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by your neighborhood Spartan store. Turn to Spartan.com. Jaguar. Visit the local Jaguar dealer to experience the 2011 Jaguar XJ. And by the Karate Kid, starring Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan in theaters June 11th. Well, On our way to the 7th inning, and the Tigers are leading 1-0. And a bouncing ball hit to the second baseman off the bat of Trevor Crowe, and one pitch and one away.
Boy, is he threading the strike zone. And now you have some of the Cleveland Indians hitters coming to the plate, swinging at the very first thing that they see because he has been so good with his first pitch strikes.
Look at that ratio. 14 balls. And so now make it 15 of 19 first pitch strikes for Galarraga. Here is Shin-Soo Choo.
Galarraga's stuff is so good, and he's feeling so confident with what he's featuring today. He's even throwing Choo first pitch fastballs, and Choo can kill fastballs.
And now, to no one's surprise, the count is 0-2. Ground ball and a line out for Choo. Here's the 0-2 pitch. In the air to center field. Jackson coming over. He's there. 2 gone. 20 in a row. And now Galarraga facing Austin Kearns, the number 3 hitter. Kearns a strikeout and a line drive. 0 for 2. And he takes strike 1.
Just about every fastball that Galarraga has thrown today has been right at 93 miles an hour with outstanding life on it.
There's a ground ball to short. Santiago to his left. 21 in a row. The Indians have not had a base runner tonight.
Hey, fans, make a day of it at Cabrera Park tomorrow afternoon when the Tigers host the Indians at 105. Order your tickets right now at 866-66-TIGER or online at tigers.com.
Here's Cabrera hitting a ground ball foul down the third base line. 0-1 on Miguel.
Porcello tomorrow against David Huff. And David Huff, well, he is very fortunate to be pitching tomorrow, taking a line drive right off the head of Alex Rodriguez his last start.
Everybody in baseball with a collective sigh of relief after that incident that happened, and Huff is no worse for the wear. Good to see him get the call tomorrow.
Huff said it hit him right in the right spot. He said a couple of inches to the left or to the right, and it's a totally different story.
There's a ground ball up the middle into center field. Another hit for Cabrera, his second of the game.
That's one of the things that Cabrera does as about as well as most hitters in the game. Even guys that have great stuff like Carmona or closers that usually shut the game down, he gets real good at bats against those guys. Whereas most players, the number one starters and closers, are usually uncomfortable at bats for you.
There's Brennan Bosch.
Don't be shocked if Big Cabrera takes off to steal a base here today. Jim has allowed him on occasion to run.
Bosch, a little tapper right back toward the mound, over the head of Carmona, and there is no play. Everybody is safe. Infield single for Bosch.
That's such a tough play, because what you want to do is you want to try to jump and catch it. But if he just turns and kind of runs down the mound and takes a couple of steps, he could have gloved that ball with his height, but he couldn't get there. And Bosch runs well for his size, able to beat that out.
So that's going to bring up Carlos Guillen. The Tigers now have 6 hits. And some critical base runners standing on the bases right now in a tight 1-0 game. Guillen is 0 for 2.
Although it looks like Galarraga doesn't need it, it would be nice to give him a little margin for error.
That is for certain. Galarraga has retired 21 in a row to start this game. Ball outside. Carlos has had 3 hits on the homestand since returning off the disabled list. Batting .268. Ground ball to the right side. Fielding there is Brandon. Fires to second one. Carmona covers. Not in time. Soler at first and third now with 1 out. Bosch is forced off the base paths. Cabrera down at third base. And Guillen at first base.
Yeah, easier said than done, but if you're Brandon, to the best of your ability, you have to try to force Carmona, into getting this fastball up in the strike zone, which would help you to elevate something into the outfield for a sacrifice fly. If you get a base hit, that's just a bonus. But Carmona has had that real good 2-seam fastball working all day today. Even the 2 hits in this inning with the infield variety.
One ball, no strikes. And Brandon Inge, a line out, a strikeout. Two 2-0. So Brandon ahead of the count now. Carmona surrendered the home run to Cabrera back in the second. So far his only run allowed. And that missed way outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Galarraga surveying the situation. Thinking about what an unbelievable game he has pitched to this point.
I would green light Brandon Inge right here. I'd give him 1 swing right here. 3-0. If he gets the fastball, I'd let him hack.
Three and one. And there's a strike on the outer edge. Brandon thought it was ball 4, but he's called back by Marvin Hudson.
Yeah, just about everything. Above 90 miles an hour for Carmona. I don't know. I would think Guillen might be running here 3-2, 1 out. If he hits it on the ground, at least you stay out of the double play.
He was running.
It's not a bad play. And if you're Guillen, you also know the situation with Carmona and Redmond this year. There's been quite a few steals while this battery has matched up. So if you're Carlos at first, get a good jump. Just in case Inge strikes out, you can steal the base. Get yourself a really good jump here.
The runners are 15 of 17 in stolen base attempts against Carmona this year. Runner going again, and a ground ball to third. They'll fire to second. They get the out there, and they still turn the double play with the runner going.
What a play by Peralta. Let's see play by Peralta.
You're watching Tigers baseball tonight on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Here's our Comerica game summary. Armando Galarraga has been spectacular tonight. Cabrera has hit a solo home run, and Jackson is 2 out of 3 for 21 multiple hit games this year. But the story is Armando Galarraga. No question about that. 21 in a row retired as he goes to work in the 8th inning. And a 1-0 Tigers lead. In the first pitch, to no one's surprise, a strike to Travis Hafner. 18 of 22 first pitch strikes. Hafner is 0 for 2. Ground ball and a fly ball. Here's Galarraga's 0-1. Travis now 0 for 5 in the series. Galarraga has been cool as a cucumber tonight. The 1-1 is a bouncing ball to short. Santiago has it. One gone. 22 in a row.
And very seldom has he shook off the youngster Avila. Boy, Galarraga has gotten all the way up to 95 here tonight.
He has literally been Superman this evening. Here's Johnny Peralta.
It's kind of hot and humid out there. Yeah, he's not even sweating. And he's a sweater.
There's a strike on Peralta, who's 0 for 2. He's making the Indians sweat right now.
He's dealing. No question about that.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Peralta. And he's doing this really under immense pressure, considering he has just a 1-0 lead. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Peralta takes it low, 1-2.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you go inside against guys like Peralta. You're better off throwing that slide piece down and away, something he can't get to. It's been a legitimate swing and miss pitch today for Galarraga.
Swing and a miss, and down he goes.
There you have it.
Peralta strikes out. 3 strikeouts for Galarraga.
He set Peralta beautifully. In the previous pitch, two-seam fastball knocked him off the plate, and he came back with that slide piece at about 87 miles an hour that clearly was out of the strike zone, but Peralta couldn't hold up on it.
Now with 2 outs, here is Russell Branyan. Branyan has put the ball on the ground twice. And he takes strike 1. One and one on Branyan. The most pitches that Galarraga has thrown in any one inning tonight is 11 in the 4th inning. He had a 6-pitch 7th. Here's the 1-1. Fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Branyan. One and 2 on Branyan. Here comes the crowd now. And a bouncing ball to second base. Guillen. 24 in a row for Galarraga. Bottom of the 8th inning at Comerica Park in a 1-0 game, and that graphic says it all. Armando Galarraga has been stunningly good tonight, and the Tigers trying to get him some more runs here as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Alex Avila to lead it off, and he skies the first pitch in the air toward left. Austin Kearns coming under it, and 1 pitch, 1 away. If you're Fausto Carmona tonight, you are certainly being upstaged by Armando Galarraga. He's pitched himself a really good game.
For sure. And we talked about it earlier. Carmona is looking like he looked back in 2007 when he won 19 games and finished in the top 5 in the Cy Young Award voting, which went to his teammate, CC Sabathia.
Santiago showing bunt.
He's a big boy, though. Just a big moose is Carmona.
You could fit a car between Galarraga and the rest of his teammates.
A big car, too.
0-2 on Santiago. Santiago is fly to left. He's fly to center. A bouncing ball to second base. Routine for Grzelcyk. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Jackson now. 2 out of 3. A couple of singles, a steal, and Austin now batting .329. Strike 1 on Jackson. Carmona himself has been extremely productive tonight in terms of his pitch count, just 80 as we play here in the 8th.
And Carmona, and it really wasn't even a bad pitch, and the ball that Cabrera hit out in the second inning. It was a good fastball. It was firm, mid-90s, and Cabrera touched him up for a solo shot in left field seats. Meanwhile, Jackson's had a nice day himself, but Jackson has had a nice year.
There's a strike on the inner portion of the plate. 2-2 now on Austin. Trying to get something started here with 2 outs in the 8th.
I don't think Carmona could throw a fastball straight if you paid him to throw a fastball straight. Everything is moving.
Ground ball left side. It'll get through. It's a 3-hit game for Jackson.
Maniacta has already pitched out once while Jackson was on first base. It was the last time he was up, and later on in that count with Johnny Damon standing there, Jackson stole second base. With 2 outs, no doubt he'll be trying to get down in the scoring position once again against this combination of Carmona and Redmond.
Redmond is only 2 for 22 and throwing out runners.
And we told you that he is the personal catcher of Carmona. So the majority of those steals that have been given up while Redmond's been behind the plate has been when Carmona was towing the rubber.
Popped up, back out of play. No balls and 1 strike. Fired up. Easy.
Everybody's happy tonight.
They sure are.
At Cabrera Park.
These guys probably don't even know each other. And they're fired up. Johnny Damon tonight is 0 for 3. Double play ball, ground out, line out. Jackson measures the lead. And Damon looks at a strike. 0-2. Bouncing ball just past the pitcher. It'll go to the shortstop. Donald throw. No, he's safe. Ooh, it was close, and Damon beat it out.
That's what Johnny Damon always talks about. He said really it only takes 1 good plate appearance on any given night. Clearly not swinging the bat the way that he would like to, but he's hustling down the line, and Donald lobs the ball across the diamond. It looked like they may have gotten him, but the call goes to Damon. Something else you watch there with Damon, just a little lesson for those of you that play baseball. When you're running down the first base line, hit the front part of the bag, the first part of the bag that you can hit, because had Damon reached and hit the middle of the bag, he doesn't get that base hit.
So now here is Maglio Ordonez as the inning is still alive. Tigers trying to tack onto their 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 8th. Strike 1. 8 Tigers hits tonight. The difference is the home run by Cabrera way back in the 2nd. He led it off in the 2nd inning with a home run off Carmona. A line drive to right field. That's a base hit. Jackson coming around third. He's going to score. Chu has trouble with it in right. Damon will go to third and stop there. And now Damon trying to score in the overthrow, and he will, standing up. 3-0 Tigers.
Classic Magglio Ordonez at bat. He takes the 93-mile-per-hour fastball, gets his hands inside of it, and rips the ball into right center field. Chu gets over, he knocks it down, he bobbles it, he kicks it, and he comes up and fires the ball into the infield. And Johnny Damon, running with his head on a swivel, able to pick up that the ball was not thrown in properly, and was able to score.
Single RBI, E9 allows the second run to score. What a big at bat for Damon, keeping the inning going and then scoring the third run.
No doubt. Good base runner. Good instincts for Damon.
Here's Cabrera. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Carmona need not get it twisted. Even though he's ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Cabrera. He better make a quality pitch. Cabrera with 15 home runs and 49 RBIs and has been one of the best hitters in the American League since putting on that Tigers uniform at the start of 2008.
Low again, 2-2.
That's something about Cabrera, Mario. I was thinking about this last night. Very seldom do you ever see this guy off balance. I mean, when he takes his stride, it seems like it's always perfect. He always keeps his hands back, and when he does it just right, he's incredible.
There's a lot to be impressed about. I'm not sure what is the most impressive part of his game. Put it all together, and he's one of the best.
Changeup.
Fouled it off.
An 86-mile-per-hour changeup. That's not the proper differential. When you throw 93, which is where the majority of Carmona's fastballs have been, you want, as a pitching coach, at least 8 to 10 miles per hour differential in between those 2 pitches. Or else there's really no deception and you really don't fool good hitters like Cabrera.
High fly ball, right field. This one's heading back toward the corner and out of play. Two and 2. 3-0 lead for the Tigers and Armando Galarraga. Swing and a miss. And Cabrera is out of there, and that'll do it for the Tigers. 2 big runs, though. Here comes Galarraga. We go to the 9th. It's 3-0. We are headed to the ninth inning. Armando Galarraga has retired 24 consecutive batters, and he has the bottom three hitters in the lineup to face here against the Indians. Galarraga will face Grzelcyk, Redmond, and Donald. They are the three scheduled hitters. And a swing and a high fly ball toward left center field. Jackson is on the run, still going. He makes the catch. Oh, Jackson! Austin Jackson in left center field. A sparkling play. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable.
Boy, did he cover some real estate here. Looking like a young Willie Mays.
Armando Galarraga with nothing but a smile. One out. Absolutely incredible. Here's Redmond. Strike one. Austin Jackson with perhaps the play of the year so far. One ball and one strike on Mike Redmond.
Well, they are bunching Redmond just the way that they need to bunch him, because he gets lots of base hits right into right field, right center field. And they got him played perfectly right now.
And a ground ball foul outside of the bag at third.
And it really doesn't matter where Jackson's playing. He's going to run it down anyway.
1-2 on Mike Redmond. Don Kelly, meanwhile, has come in to play defensively in left for Johnny Damon. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball to short. Santiago. And there are two outs. Six up, 26 down. Here comes number 27. It's Jason Donald, and a crowd of better than 17,000 to its feet.
The guy we've been waiting for all night.
Strike one. For two for Donald tonight. The 0-1. One ball and one strike on Jason Donald. Ground ball, right side. Cabrera will cut it off. Galarraga covers. He's out. No, he's safe. He is safe. He is safe at first base. And here comes Jim Leyland. Oh my goodness. Jim Joyce said he was safe at first base. You make the call. Cabrera, Galarraga.
Did he miss the base? He's out. Why is he safe?
He must have missed the base.
Are you kidding me? Why is he safe?
You see right here.
Why is he safe? Oh my goodness, Jim Joyce, no!
Oh, jeez Louise.
Oh my goodness.
What a travesty. What an absolute travesty for Armando Galarraga. Oh my goodness, Armando. I'm sorry for you, big fella. I am really sorry for you. There's a strike call. Here's another look. Galarraga getting there. He can smell it. He can smell it. Perfect game. Tags the bag, and they called him safe.
Oh, no.
I hadn't felt this bad in a long time. I have not felt this bad in a long, long time for Armando Galarraga. And Cabrera,
be careful,
let Jim Joyce know about it.
Rightfully so.
Oh.
Rightfully so.
Runner going to third. And there's a strike called. 1-2 on Trevor Crowe. Stunning. Just stunning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And Cabrera still going at it with Jim Joyce. And the crowd is livid. Bouncing ball left side, ran it in. I have never been this disappointed after a Tigers win.
Oh my goodness.
Armando Galarraga. What an outstanding performance tonight. And I feel for you.
Look at these players.
Unbelievable.
The players shouldn't get too much in Jim Joyce's face, though, because it's all said and done.
It's over. Let's go, boys.
I mean, it's done.
It's over. Tigers win it here tonight.
At least Jim Joyce is standing there and taking it like a man.
He is doing that. And Jim Leland is letting him have it. So the Tigers players let him have it. I don't know, Rod. I don't know how to describe this. I just feel so bad for Armando Galarraga. What an effort tonight for Armando. We'll step aside. Tigers win here tonight. Galarraga, spectacular.